Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Faded Conversations. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic that a lot of people or men in general don't necessarily talk about, and that is depression. Now, the word depression is not something that should be easily thrown about. It is something that has to be medically diagnosed, to be very honest, but we as Jamaican men are forced to be strong. We have a lot on our shoulders. We don't usually talk about things that are affecting us. So we decided to have a conversation today. This is how it went. You are the person feeling depressed. Like, what is your go-to as a solution to you feeling like, yo, this is getting too heavy? Whether it be a death in your family, whether it be anything business related, it could be so many things. But how we cope with it is just as important as how it affects you, to be very honest.
For example, it's funny that you're speaking on the topic of depression, because a couple of weeks ago I had to talk to a friend about it.
Great.
So, let me put it this way. Depression really affects men more than women.
All right.
One of the reasons why, as previous person was saying, was that our ego. Number two, this macho thing that we have going on. One of the easiest ways I think to deal with depression is to talk. Trust somebody. Somebody you relate. Speak about the situation that you're going through. Two, always encourage a person to stay positive. Three, I think as men, we should always surround ourselves with positive thinking people.
True. Very important.
Because, let me say, depression, how would I put it, is a well-disguised disease. Because you can be depressed.
I don't look it.
And I can't look at you and know you're depressed. How can I know? It's only way by you talking to me, you relating the situation to me. Understand me? I think it's very important that during our time going about, we should take some time out, to reason with each other. Like, that's a random talk. You might be surprised where it might go. It's more imperative on us as men to really let go of the ego that we carry around, the macho side that we want to display. I mean, it's okay to be macho. We are men, we are man. But there are times when you don't really need that. You need to shed that outer skin just to protect that inner part of you.
Very good.
Understand me? So that's just my way of dealing with depression.
Well, I think the first thing is that, we have to identify or at least acknowledge the fact that depression is not, people tend to give the impression that depression is something that you can easily pinpoint.
Right.
If you have an upset stomach, for example, you can more readily identify that something is wrong with your stomach, and you can go take some antacids or whatever the case is. With depression, I feel like it is something that is more invisible, so to speak.
Right.
As Jason alluded to, it really comes down to first and foremost professional intervention. However, I feel that if you are beginning to feel that you may have symptoms of depression, it's important to be able to identify it. But it's especially important to sense the triggers within yourself. If you know that it is not your norm to feel lackadaisical or to feel like you prefer to stay in bed all day, so much to the point where you start to neglect your responsibilities, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, that really should strike you as a trigger.
Especially now when you know that you can't go out. You can't go and see and interact with the people that you value the most necessarily in their opinion. And you can't go to Pier 1 and you can't have a drink. Like, I know a lot of people that are probably, whether it is that you're in your house and you kind of still feel alone in a house full of people, or it is that you live by yourself and you don't get that social interaction. I think this is an important topic now, because how do you manage that in a time when, seeing people and our culture is embedded in you know, going out and partying and drinking and those things don't happen now. How do you handle that if you had to handle that now?
For me personally now, I take strength in my family and my brethren around me. I've really had been in a situation where I have brethren where I don't look out for my own interests as you know, I would look out for theirs. But you will have one and two occasions where you have brethren around where it seems like you've not really been no good. But sometimes even that person, you can gain some insight from them. Sometimes when you feeling depressed and you see a brethren situation, it's probably even worse than your situation. And you can lift him up, you can give him encouragement. And sometimes by you encouraging somebody else, it helps your personal situation too.
That's a very good point.
Sometimes a one line, a simple, how somebody answer a question when you ask, sometimes it helps you with your situation. You don't even realize.
Look for articles, look for videos that are inspirational, look for things that can speak directly to your issue or to the symptoms that you're feeling. You might be surprised to know that you can find a simple 1 minute or 2 minute video that can literally give you one simple sentence or statement that triggers off some inspiration for you.
Okay.
So.
Okay, all right, guys, thank you for joining us. That was the end of part 2 of our discussion. Tell us your thoughts, tell us everything you're feeling about the discussion in the comments, and we look forward to seeing you again for part 3.